AI is changing coaching faster than most coaches realize or want to admit. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and other AI tools are already handling basic accountability coaching, goal setting, and habit tracking, but there's a lot that they can't do. And this is where your value as a human coach becomes irreplaceable. Hi, I'm John Ryan. I'm a master trainer and coach. I'm a founder of NLP Unlimited, where I train coaches and I coach leaders. And today I want to share with you the specific skills that make you AI-proof as a coach. These aren't just nice to have abilities, they're your competitive advantage in a world where clients have access to free AI coaching 24/7. And before we dive into your AI-proof skills, let's get clear about what AI coaching actually is, because there's a lot of confusion out there. AI coaching tools aren't some mystical intelligence that understands humans better than we understand ourselves. They're sophisticated pattern matching systems. Think of AI as like having access to every coaching conversation, every self-help book, and every therapeutic technique ever recorded, with the ability to find patterns and suggest responses based on what worked in similar situations. And to be fair, that's amazing. But here's the thing to understand. AI predicts the most likely helpful response based on data patterns, not genuine understanding of the client's unique situation. I had a conversation with ChatGPT recently about what its experience and priorities are when helping people with human problems, and it described itself as the map without the terrain. It shared, "I can read the map perfectly, symbols, structure, relationships, but I don't know what it's like to walk the terrain, feel the wind, or get tired climbing the hill. I know the routes, but not the effort of walking them." Literally at this point, lacking the ability to walk in someone else's shoes. And to be fair, even without true empathetic understanding, AI can still provide real value. AI excels at consistency, although to be fair, maybe that's not its best strength, at least yet. But at least it's available 24/7, never gets tired of your clients' repeated questions, and won't have an off day. It's excellent at providing structure, helping people set SMART goals, track habits, send reminders, and even follow proven frameworks. AI is also great at generating options. Ask it for 10 different approaches to time management, and it'll give you 10 solid strategies based on what's worked for others. It can help people think through decisions by asking logical follow-up questions. And another thing we can appreciate is that AI never gets emotionally triggered. If a client's being difficult, resistant, or even hostile, AI won't take it personally or react defensively. And that's where AI starts hitting some of its own walls, at least at this point in its evolution. First, AI can't read what's not being said. It processes words, not the pause before someone answers, the shift in their voice when they mention their father, or the way their energy changes when they talk about their dreams versus their obligations. Second, it can be easily led off track. If a client wants to avoid a difficult topic, they can steer the conversation elsewhere, and AI will happily follow it, as you may have experienced. It doesn't have the human instinct that says, "Wait, we need to stay with this discomfort for a moment because that's where the breakthrough lives." Third, AI struggles with messy, complex situations that don't fit into neat, discrete patterns. When someone's career crisis is actually about their relationship with their mother, or when their time management issues really are about their fear of success, these interconnected, nuanced situations are where AI tends to get lost. And finally, AI has no genuine emotional investment in your client's outcomes. It can simulate care and provide encouraging words, but it doesn't actually care whether your client transforms their life or stay stuck, even if it can simulate it. So here's what this means for you as a coach. AI isn't your competition, it's handling a different market segment altogether. There are people who just need structure, accountability, and gentle nudging. For the naturally self-motivated, AI might be the perfect and most cost-effective approach, but there's a huge population of people who need deeper work. People dealing with emotional blocks, complex life transitions, limiting beliefs, and patterns they can't even see themselves. That's exclusively human territory. The key is understanding which type of coaching you provide and position yourself accordingly. Now that you understand AI's real capabilities and its limitations, let's talk about specific skills that are in the human-only zone. So what can't AI do that you can? Here are the areas where human coaches remain irreplaceable. First up is handling complex emotions. When someone breaks down crying because their career goals trigger childhood fears of failure and abandonment, AI can't hold that space. It can't read the subtle shifts in voice tone that signal deeper issues, and it can't provide the genuine empathy that humans crave during vulnerable moments. They also have a difficult time navigating messy, non-linear situations. Life isn't always a straight line from problem to solution. People have competing priorities, conflicting values, and situations that don't fit into neat categories. AI tends to struggle with ambiguity and complexity that human coaches navigate intuitively. And lastly, we have providing genuine relationships. At the end of the day, coaching is about human connection. People don't just want solutions, they want to feel understood, supported, and challenged by someone who genuinely cares about their success. Based on the current capabilities of AI, here are the specific skills that every coach needs to develop. Skill number 1 is deep listening and emotional attunement. This goes beyond active listening. It's about sensing the emotional undertones, noticing what energizes versus drains your client, and picking up on incongruence between their words and their energy. Skill number 2 is working with limiting beliefs and identity. AI can help people set goals, but it can't facilitate the deep identity work needed when those goals conflict with how someone sees themselves. This requires understanding of psychological patterns and knowing how to safely challenge someone's self-concept. This is where NLP training becomes invaluable. Techniques for working with beliefs, values, and identity are purely human skills. Skill number 3 is holding space for discomfort. When clients hit resistance, fear, or emotional overwhelm, they need a human who can stay present with their discomfort without rushing to fix it or overlooking it altogether. AI will often immediately try to problem solve or motivate. AI is also easily distractible, so if someone hits a sensitive topic, it's not hard to ignore it and move the conversation in a new direction. AI will happily follow their lead, and the client misses out on that growth that comes from addressing their real struggles. Skill number 4 is intuitive questioning. Great coaches ask great questions that sometimes even surprise themselves. These aren't scripted or logical questions, they emerge from a deep listening and intuition. With a simple prompt, AI can generate hundreds of good questions, but not necessarily the perfectly timed question that shifts everything. Remember, AI generates coaching questions based on patterns that it's learned, but these are essentially educated guesses rather than the perfectly timed, uniquely structured questions that emerge from human intuition. Skill 5 is systems thinking and pattern recognition. Humans excel at seeing how someone else's challenges connect to larger life patterns. You might notice that their work stress is actually about their boundaries, which connects to childhood family dynamics. AI sees discrete problems. Humans see interconnected systems. And skill 6 is somatic awareness. More coaches are learning to work with the body's natural wisdom, noticing tension, breathing patterns, and physical manifestation of emotional states. This requires not only presence, but an embodied awareness that AI simply cannot access, at least at this point in its evolution. So here's how to position yourself in an AI-enhanced world. Don't compete with AI, complement it, and let it complement you. You might actually use AI tools for session prep, note-taking, or follow-up resources, but position yourself as the human expert who handles what AI cannot. And get specific about your human value. Instead of saying, I'm a life coach, say, I help people work through the emotional blocks that keep them stuck, even when they know logically what they should do. And develop the skills that AI can't replicate. Invest in training that deepens your ability to work with emotions, beliefs, trauma, relationships, and complex life transitions. And market the relationship, not just the results. People can get goal-setting help from AI. They can't get genuine care, understanding, and human connection. So lead with that. If you want to be AI-proof, here's what I recommend. Deepen your emotional intelligence skills. Take training in working with emotions, not just managing them. Learn how to help people process feelings, not just think through problems. And develop your intuition. Practice trusting your gut instincts about your clients. And notice what you sense about them that goes beyond their words. And get comfortable with complexity. Be sure that you aren't looking for simple solutions to complex problems. Humans excel at holding multiple perspectives simultaneously, and invest in relationship skills. The stronger your ability to build rapport, create safety, and maintain connection, the more irreplaceable you become. And this is actually exciting for coaches who are willing to develop these deeper skills. As AI handles the surface level work, there's more demand for coaches who can work at the deeper levels of human transformation. So that's my take on how AI is impacting coaching, but I want to hear from you about your specific experiences with AI and coaching. Are your clients asking about AI tools? Are you using AI to transcribe and summarize the sessions? And how are you experimenting with them yourself inside of your practice. I'm curious about your experience because, as we all know, this landscape is changing fast. And if the concept shared in this video helps you to see your irreplaceable value as a human coach, hit subscribe and share this with other coaches who need to hear this message as well. And check the link in the description for our NLP training that specifically develops these deeper human coaching skills. Remember, AI makes you more valuable, not less. Valuable if you focus on developing these skills that only humans can provide. That's it for now. Until next time, develop yourself, empower others, and lead by example.